Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. I'm so sorry, oh my Lord. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Jillian. I wanted to answer somebody's question. They private messaged me through my business site, and I don't mind answering these types of questions because you got to understand there's a big picture when it comes to symptoms and what the body is made up of, and then Jilly Juice. Okay, so if you break everything down, that your body is made up of bacteria, fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. And the reason why you have symptoms such as kidney stones or gallstones, or you feel you have some kind of heavy metal toxicity, is because you have you have an imbalance in your fatty acids, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals. Okay, so it means you have a lot more minerals in your body that you're not releasing. You're missing probably a component of electrolytes. You're probably missing some other acids in your body that would melt those minerals to allow it to then be pushed through through all the different exit points. Okay, because when you pass a kidney stone, it's really, really painful. Some people actually have to go to the doctor and get it taken out surgically. Or some people are in such pain that it's just almost unbearable. Then they have to take like drugs to then stop the pain. And then they finally pass it, but it was just like a horrible hell for them. So here's the thing. Jilly Juice is nutrition. It has your balance of probiotics. It has your minerals. It has your electrolytes. It has your micro and macronutrition, which is the prohormones. It's the lactic acid. It has a probiotic. And so it's just basically nutrition. And when a person doesn't ever have any kidney stones, well, why is that? Well, because their body is well balanced. Their body is able to push through any excess minerals, any excess uric acid or acids, or any of those things, those minerals that make up the gallstones and the kidney stones. Okay? So if your body is imbalanced, it means that you're going to be collecting all of these minerals and these acids. They're going to clump up, and then it's going to be very hard to pass. So someone wanted to know if there's a testimony about Jilly Juice, and I'll tell you this. I'm telling you, pain is healing, okay? But don't ever, if you feel you're in an emergency, you always go to the doctor. So if somebody is trying to deal with a kidney stone, and they're doing it on J-Juice, well, we have somebody in my group that did that. They're on J-Juice, and they're passing a kidney stone. And they were in extreme pain. But it was their choice to do it with the J-Juice and deal with the pain. But everybody has their specific tolerance level. And if you have a very low pain threshold and you have giant stones, go to the doctor, get them taken out, and then do Jilly Juice. Because I would never have you go do Jilly Juice in lieu of a doctor if you are in that much pain, or you're afraid that's going to block something that is very, very important that would cause then something that you'd be scared of. I would rather you go to the doctor and get something taken out rather than go through the enormous amount of pain of passing a major kidney stone. Okay? So what I could say is it depends. I mean, if you have big giant ones, then go to the doctor and get them removed. If you have small ones, well, hey, if they're so small, then it's not going to really be that difficult to pass. It might be a little bit of painful, but you would know. You know your body. You know what you pass, what you don't pass. You know your history. Okay? But I can't tell somebody that they're going to be passing kidney stones with ease on J-Juice, because that may not be the case. Like I said, pain is healing. However, everybody has different thresholds, and that's why they take drugs, and that's why they take opioids, or that's why they take painkillers, because that's how they're able to manage healing relatively, well or not well, relative to what they expect, to get them to at least back to what they think is their normal, even though they're probably, now less than where they were, but at least they can go back to work, or they can pass a stone and it's finally gone. But my God, wait till the next time. Okay? So it's going to be your call on how you deal with the kidney stones. So if you have some major big ones, go to the doctor, get it evaluated, make an appointment, get them taken out, and then do the J-Juice and start breaking up all of the minerals, all the compacted minerals, break up all the compacted antibodies, break up all the compacted everything that has caused imbalances to where you are now suffering symptoms. because symptoms come from imbalances in your fatty acid, amino acid, prohormones, and minerals. What are fatty acids? Stuff, fat. That's in the acids that are in the fat. When you eat, meat fat, when you eat coconut fat, fat. And it's acids, part of the building blocks of the RNA and DNA. Ribonucleic acid, deoxynucleic acid, okay? That is the building blocks of your body. So you need fat. You need amino acids. Those are proteins that basically build the cells to make you look like the way you do, okay? Then you have prohormones. That's basically hormones. It's what's in the vitamins. It's nutrition. It's micro and macronutrition, what you find in the cabbage and kale. You have your minerals, you have your prohormones or your nutrients, vitamin A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. You know what the vitamin A, B, C, D, F, and G, that's all hormones. That's all nutrition. It's all the same stuff. And then you have minerals like heavy metals, it's like fluoride, it's like mercury, it's like aluminum, it's like, any salt, sodium, chloride. Those are all minerals. And then you have the bacteria that your body's supposed to have, okay? And so none of that stuff is poisonous, but when you have imbalances and you have an overabundance or an underabundance, then you're gonna start seeing anomalies, or also known as symptoms. And then people, what they do is they try to manage their symptoms by taking drugs or getting operations to try to balance themselves out. But every single time they do something, it causes more of an imbalance, and then they have to go and fix that with something else, which causes more of an imbalance. And then people are all of a sudden are on the string of drugs, and now they're suffering what could potentially be something major event in the future. Okay, so I can't tell you if you're going to have an easy time with J-juice and your kidney stones. You know your medical history. You talk to your doctor and let your doctor know what you plan to do. Because my guess is if you're dealing with kidney stones, they're probably some pretty big ones. And if they are, you have to see a doctor to get them removed. Or, it'll be so painful passing them. You don't want to go through that. That could be completely torturous. It just depends upon what your situation is. So I really can't give you a scenario that would make you feel like J-juice would be for you, because it's like this. You're going to have to manage with your doctor and with the J-juice and work them together until then you can wean yourself off the doctors. So, it's not horrible to go get them removed if they're that bad, and then get on J-juice and heal and seal and dilute and condense based upon your balances and imbalances, and you just keep managing that way. And when and it'll be up to you, but pain is healing. You don't want to go over abundantly being in a painkiller, anesthetizing yourself to where you're basically destroying yourself. But you've got to figure out the balance of what you can handle as far as the pain threshold. Because some people have really, really bad kidney stones where they're afraid it's going to block something, and they don't want to, by taking J-juice and hope that it'll break it up. I mean, it'll probably break it up, but you'll be so painful in the process, you might as well get it taken out and save yourself the torture, okay? But, I'm not a doctor. So now you just have to figure out what's going to be good for you, And some people are where they are at imminent death and they need to get something so quickly, like a stent, or they need to get stabilized because of an event. And once they're stabilized, then they can do the J-juice and understand that sometimes you're going to have to go through healing symptoms. But if you're under a doctor's care, they should know what you're doing. And then they'll run all the necessary tests to make sure that all your vitals and everything else are normal. So, because I had people that would suffer some kind of event, and they think they know it's not the J-juice, but they want to make sure. And so they go get the test done, and all of their sodium levels are normal, their heart levels are normal, EKG is normal, all the vitals are normal, but the body's trill. But because when you have an event, you think that something, you think that potentially you're going to die. And most likely when you have an event and you're not feeding your body correctly, the right chemistry, yes, that is the potentiality, that is the possibility that you could not survive a heart attack or a stroke. And so that's why you have an event, you go and get the test checked out. Because remember, on the J-juice, or even in the world outside of J-juice, when you're not doing J-juice and you have symptoms, you're in a systematic degradation. When you have symptoms on the J-juice, now you have a systematic upgradation type of thing. But to explain that to someone who's so used to having symptoms of thinking that it's bad is quite difficult, given the current climate where everyone thinks that pain is bad, symptoms are bad, it needs to be, something needs to be taken out, something needs to be put in, you need to take some kind of drug for it, or this or that for it. So it's like, you know, you have to make the call. This is your life. But J juice is just food. It's food, it's fermented cabbage juice. The salt amounts are really no different than anything else out there that people are eating on a continuous basis. Because let's say this, you take away all the salt out of your diet, your body's going to go into atrophy. There'll be nothing going on. It'll be inert. And then the blood's not going to pump, and you're not going to have enough electrolytes and enough sodium and enough any of the things, that the minerals that you need to keep everything moving through your capillaries and through your arteries, and making sure that all of your hormones are firing correctly. Okay? So it's all about a balance, but you have to understand that you have so many predispositions that the J juice is going to wake up everything that's been asleep, and some of you are not used to managing pain in a way where you know it's a good thing, not a bad thing. Because as soon as you have a pain, or as soon as you have an event, you're going to go call the doctor and do this and that, which you should do, especially if you don't know what you're doing. However, pain is a body trying to find some alternative way to keep it alive, and it's pulling resources from places that you may not have enough resources. So that's why some people can survive heart attacks and strokes, and why others die from a heart attack and stroke. You know why when someone dies from a heart attack and stroke? Because they didn't have enough nutrients, they didn't have enough electrolytes, they didn't have enough to carry them through. Because they had warnings before, and yes, they did the shortcuts and put all the different things in that's in modern medicine, but they haven't fixed their leaky gut to be able to absorb the nutrients to then fill in the reserves, so that way the body can heal all the weaknesses. And then you start seeing a difference in your hair, skin, and nails, and all your bones, and the mental clarity. And so, I mean, you have the ability to regenerate cells. You have the ability to take yourself back to way before you had all your predispositions, but you have to go through the healing process. And it's not fun, it's not easy, and not everyone's gonna be able to do it because you're so used to not wanting to deal with pain. But you have to have the right chemistry behind you, the right support system to be able to carry you through, so you're not in pain for nothing. Because those that are in chronic pain with chronic conditions are in pain that is not working for them. With the J juice, the pain is actually working for you because you're actually feeding your body correctly, you're healing, and the body is continuously upgrading itself, the next level to the next level to the next level. And then you start seeing changes in your body. So instead of a systematic degradation, like I said, now you're going to be systematically upgrading yourself. You're going to see amazing positive benefits going up the ladder versus going down the ladder. Because the aging process is where your body's trying to heal, you're not giving it what it needs, and it's systematically going down the steps. Some of you are skipping steps because of the amount of predispositions you brought into your world, and then your belief system and your lifestyle. With the J juice, some of you are so intent on making sure you're doing this. You're doing like a gallon a day or less than that, I don't know. You don't have too many distractions, and you are skipping steps up the upgrade scale. Okay, and then you start seeing yourself on the next level of healing where you're seeing major results. People notice what you look like. They notice your hair, they notice your skin, they notice your nails, they notice your demeanor. So, you know, that's my take on kidney stones and JJ. You talk to your doctor, you figure out what's good for you, how much pain you can handle, and if you can't, then you go get those things taken out, and then heal on J juice and just keep going as if nothing, you don't miss a beat. Sometimes you have to go to the doctor just to make sure, or just to do that, whatever you got to do, and then you drink the J juice, because no matter what, with the J juice will always support whatever decision you make until you don't need those procedures anymore. But that's something you're going to have to understand when you read my book or when you listen to my videos, and then you're going to have to want to understand this. Okay? And so so that is for this person that asked me that question about kidney stones and JJ, because kidney stones are one of many things a person is dealing with. It's not just a kidney stone they're dealing with. They're dealing with a multitude of stuff that they're going to have to deal with on top of that. And if they're just worried about kidney stones and they do the JJ and they're realizing they have predispositions in other areas of their body they're not prepared to deal with, this would be a letdown. it wouldn't meet expectation. Jelly juice is not a cure. Jelly juice is not something that you manage your predispositions and your symptoms as if you're trying to disappear them. Eventually, you will disappear the pain, but you have to earn it, not through shortcuts or through drugs or through herbs, but through actually healing. Okay, because eventually, I mean, I'm not in pain anymore. I drink the J juice. I'll get my waterfalls, and I haven't been in pain in like for a long time. My body goes through different calibrations when I have to adapt to different environments. If I'm in an area where there's a lot, where it's colder, or there's a lot more activity or bacteria, it might blow my nose. Whenever I go, like I went to the store today, I went to the B&B and the store and all these different places, and I was blowing my nose because I knew there's a change in the environment, change in the atmosphere. So your body is constantly adapting to the changes out there. But the more you have major symptoms, the harder it is for you to adapt to your environment. And that's what you guys are finding out as you keep going through all your symptoms, and you're not correcting them, and then they keep coming back. You keep revisiting the same problems because you haven't corrected at the root level. You just put a Band-Aid over it. Okay? So, you know, J juice doesn't just deal with one thing that you expect. It's everything from the ground up or the feet up, inside out. And if you're not prepared to deal with everything you've ever dealt with, then you go back to your doctor, stay with your doctor, let them do piecemeal on you until you have nothing left. And that really is the truth of the matter. When you are in the allopathic holistic world, you are piecemealing, managing your symptoms so that way you can still sort of maintain, but you know you're now less than where you were before. And you just want to buy some kind of time with your friends and family, but you really can't predict when something's going to happen. But you hope, you roll the dice, you hope that you have at least 5 or 10 years, if you're lucky. But then you can't control the bacteria out there, you can't control the viruses out there, you can't control your environment. Really? So now what is it that you can control? You can control the chemistry and your biochemistry within you and understand what the symptoms mean and deal with it in a way that is effective and strategic, harnessing the right elements. But you have to do the work. You know, you give your body away to somebody, they're going to dictate what's good for you. And if you don't take control of your own body, then you can't really be upset when it doesn't go the way you want. So now you have to own your healing process. And so somebody's testimony is not really going to be the same for you because they have so many different issues and backgrounds and predispositions that can't possibly be something that you would expect for you, because if they dealt with their kidney stones like maybe right off the bat, and you do the J juice, you won't deal with that until way down the road. It just depends. So you really can't depend upon testimonies. Testimonies are just there to say, hey, there's a possibility, but we have no idea when you're going to deal with your issue that you are wanting to focus on. We don't know how long, because you have either 65 years, 45 years, 25 years of major medical history. Plus you have grandparents and parents with major medical history. Plus you have already traumas in your current life in the past that have to be healed. Some of you are a complete mess. So there's no way we can tell you a time frame of what you're going to deal with and how long. It's something that you're going to have to keep just sticking with and know what's going on and just keep taking care of your priorities. You keep rolling with the punches. It's food, but it's food that heals you. And yes, the pain is because the body's trying to heal, but you have mischaracterized it for so many years that you don't realize that that's what it is until now. Until now you're faced with this coronavirus thing, okay, to where you're going to face dealing with this virus in your environment and there's no vaccine, or are you going to actually face the healing process? Okay, so, you know, now people are facing exactly their belief systems, and some of people will have to do a dance with the devil type of thing, or dance with the angel, one of the two. So anyways, that's my little take on that. You guys have a good day. Good luck.